King of Ninjutsu just made a brand new update and is finally back on the App Store. So all the people have been asking if it's on the App Store. You need to download it now. It's probably not going to be in the App Store for that long. I suggest you do it now. I put it in the description just so you guys can click it, but it is called Land of Fire Assembly. And they added 8 new SS partners and an entire new tier of ranking. It's S+, it's below SS, and above S. Because there were some people in S that really didn't make that much sense that were in S. It still doesn't make a lot of sense with it. It's kind of stupid, but it is kind of cool at least because, you know, Minato and like Itachi is way stronger than like Mei or Inoki. So yeah, let's just get started with the video. First, I want to talk about the new ranking. It is S+, like I said, it is below SS, but it is above S. So they added in Minato, Itachi, Genjutsu, and Jiraiya into S+. They also added Might Guide Gate of View, Pain, Thurikage, Sage Kabuto, Danzo, Sarutobi, and Orochimaru into S+. They also made Kakashi from an A to an S, so that's also kind of cool. I don't really like this new update. I do like it, like it's cool. The new rarity is cool, but they did kind of mess up. Like I do feel like Tsunade should have been S+, but honestly, I don't have that much issues with it. It just, like, I feel like they could have added different more into it. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of the new ranking of S+. And now we can talk about the SSs that they added. The first SS that they added is Sasori. They called it the performance of 100 puppets. All his normal ability does is he spits a fireball to the enemy, bombarding the ground, burning the enemy within the range, and dealing 380% damage. The area that it hit, it slows them for 30% for 2 seconds, and the spreading fire will inflict a burn equal to 50% of the damage for 5 seconds with a CD of 8 seconds. So this guy is really good at burning, so he'll be good with Bully or Sage or Jiraiya, anyone that is really good with hurting burn. He is pretty solid with that. Then his ultimate is his 100 puppet ability, where he summons and manipulates the puppets to attack forward, dealing 1,332% damage. During the release, he increases defense by 30% with a 30% cooldown. Now this is okay. I don't really like it that much. I feel like they could have made it do more. It is good with defense because he does have that permanently, but I feel like it's a little bit more underwhelming. They could have he could have stunned him, he could have paralyzed him, he could have done like anything really, but he kind of just increases his own defense and does damage. Now his star stat is actually really good. He slows the enemy within a range of 6 meters by him by 40% and reduces the healing by 10% and inflicts a poison equal to 50% of damage per second on them. That is a pretty good star stat. The fact that he just slows everyone around him, and not only that, he also burns them all the time with his normal ability. He is a really good bully character. Or if you want to pair him up with like a Sage, with a Sage Jiraiya, that is a really good combo. Anyone that's really good with burn damage and does extra damage to burn. Now I actually really like Kakuzu. I think he's going to be a really strong one in the main picks. I'm probably going to do a tier list on all the new people because they did add 8 new people. It's going to be looking kind of crazy. I want to be able to like tell you what is good and what isn't. Now for Kakuzu, his normal ability, he casts a Ninjutsu of different stats up ahead to deal 190% damage to the enemy with a 10% chance respectively to inflict burn equal to 20% damage on them, and reduces their defense by 10% and hit by 20% for 2 seconds. Now that's kind of crazy because all their normal abilities don't do anything. They just do damage and that's really it. But he decreases their defense and hit, which is just, it's kind of weird that his normal ability reduces like stats, and that is really good. I think he's going to be on the higher end of the new SS partners. Then his normal ability is a water curtain thunder binding. He spits and creates a pool up ahead, detonating the water with a lightning to deal 540% damage and snares them for 5 seconds, increasing bleeding upon the enemy on hit for 5 seconds with a 12-second cooldown. Now this is okay. I really like it. It's got a 12-second for cooldown. That is a little bit high, but it does do this for 5 seconds. Like, it snares them for 5 seconds and makes them bleed for 5 seconds. So that makes up for it. It is only a 7-second period where they're not doing this. So it is a large amount of time where they are bleeding. So he's also really good with Bully for War Souls. He's good with Sage Jiraiya. Now his star stats are also really good. The main reason why I think he's going to be a heavy hitter. Now when your HP is above 80%, your attack has a 3% chance to paralyze the enemy for 1 second every 6 seconds. Then when your HP is above 60%, you have a 3% chance to snare the enemy for 2 seconds every 6 seconds. Then when your HP is above 40%, you have increased damage by 30%. And when HP is above 20%, you've increased by 50, and then 20% again, lifesteal by 50. So basically, if you have 100% HP, if you're like full HP, you have every single one of these buffs going right now. Your lifesteal is insane, your damage is crazy, your hit is higher, you have a chance to snare them, and you have the chance to paralyze them just by hitting them. Like, that's crazy. He has a really good star stat with abilities. I think he's going to be a heavy hitter. I think he's going to be easily in the top 3, maybe top 4 if he is put down a little bit. I don't know. I feel like he's going to be good, and that's my opinion on him. Now we have Madara Six Paths. Now I'm actually kind of disappointed with Madara. I feel like he should have been way more strong. He could have been way more fun, to be honest. But his normal ability is he uses a clone to release lightning chains near the target and launches continuous thunder attacks, dealing up to 429% damage. When touching the lightning chains, the enemies will be paralyzed for 2 seconds with an 8-second cooldown. He is really good with paralyzing. That is the big plus about him. So if you have SS Kakashi, he could be really good with him. Then we have his ultimate, and this is why I think he's a little bit less fun. He's literally the exact same Madara. Like, he drops another giant meter, and he deals 1,590% damage, and he also stuns all the enemies for like 1 second, which is good with like Casey and Minato. So at least there's that, but like, I feel like he's like just the same kind of Madara. And it's got a 40-second cooldown. I kind of wish that was a little bit like less, like 35 maybe. And then his star stat is he increases crit in battle by 30% and reduces self-damage taken by 60% every 20 seconds and grants super armor for 3 seconds. This is one of the better things about him for him, but honestly, it's kind of weird that they just made him really tanky. He could have been just like really strong and really good damage dealing, but then they made him control and made him more like he just stuns you and he paralyzes you. So that's okay, but I feel like he should have done more damage. Now we have Obito Ten Tails. Now his normal ability is he just attacks the enemy in front of him, dealing 471% damage with a 9-second cooldown. His normal ability is kind of lame, but his other abilities are kind of cool. Like his ultimate, he uses Truth Seeking Ball to launch 2 rounds of attacks of the 5 elements from the sky, dealing up to 1,209% damage of attacks of different elements. He can burn, stun, paralyze, slow, and freeze the enemy with a 40-second cooldown. This is one of the best abilities I've seen. He is good with like so many characters. He's good with Kirby Sage. He's good with Sage Jiraiya. He's good with Casey and Minato. He's good with anyone who like is good with any of these. He's good with Swimsuit Tsunade. He is a really good character. Now, his star status is where he gets a little weird. He makes himself immune to stun and paralyze when his HP is above 40%. But when his HP is lower than 50%, he stuns all units, including his allies, for 5 seconds. So he just like makes everyone on the field just completely stop moving. Then increases all allies' crit rating during this period by 20%, and the stun status of the allies will be lifted when they are attacked, while the attackers will be burned and lose 0.5% of their max HP every second, and this can be triggered once per battle. Now 0.5% every second is actually really good. That will burn them down really quickly. Within like 10 seconds, that's 5% of the max HP just gone. Now his star set's actually kind of weird. Like the fact that he just stuns everyone, all allies and enemies just stop moving. It's kind of funny. I feel like he's just like, yeah, shut up, I need to think. And he just stuns everyone just so he can think. I find that kind of funny. Now, Indora and Ashura confused the fucking hell out of me. They had like a different person do this like description, because you can even tell like theirs says cooling time instead of CD. Their wording is really confusing, and it took me a while to like kind of understand it. But basically, it's just his normal ability is he causes damage, dealing 96% damage, and he burns the enemy, and it lasts 4 seconds with a 12-second cooldown. His ultimate is he summons. I still don't fully understand. He summon. This is basically description. Summon must be able to fight with yourself. Must be able to last 25 seconds. I don't understand that. I think he summons his Susanoo, and then with each attack he causes 105% damage with a 50-second cooldown. I think that's really bad. I don't really know what that means. Hopefully when we see him come out, it's really cool, but a very, very long cooldown, and it's just like, I don't understand, like, it's just a summon must be able to fight with yourself. Does he fight himself? Like, I think he just summons a Susanoo. That makes the most sense. I can see a Susanoo in the background. I think that's just what that means. And now his star set, it's just what confuses me the most. Like, I really don't understand this. I plan on making another video on him when his event comes out, where I go more in detail on who he is and how he works. I can't understand it right now. The first part is easy, right? Like every 5 attacks, the person who's nearest you will burn for 2 seconds, and the damage will be increased by 50% every second. That's really good. Every 5 auto attacks this happens, and he continuously burns more and more and more. Then when he's fighting with Ashura, which this is why I think Ashura and Indora work together, right? Like their star sets go with each other, kind of like Ginkaku and Kinkaku, but kind of better. Then when he's fighting with him, the battle will release an enhanced skylight at the beginning of the battle. This battle will gain the effect of increasing damage to dizzy and burning units by 50%. Enhanced skylight, which this is why I still don't understand. The skylight after the attack range is specialized, and the skill damage is related to the skill level of the skylight. Now I think that means level of star stat, and like when you fight with Ashura, that lets out the enhanced skylight, and depending on your star level of your Indora and Ashura, it does more effect. I'm saying I don't really fully know. This is weird, very weird wording, but I think that's what that means. So these two are really cool. They work together. That at least is a cool aspect of it. And it seems they have a new kind of like stun. They have dizzy, which that is kind of cool. I'm assuming it makes them like wobble and they don't move. And now with Ashura, his normal ability is he launches a pill forward to cause 444% damage to the enemy within the explosion range. The attacked enemy will be stunned for 2 seconds, and then the CD is 10 seconds, which is kind of long. It does stun him, which is kind of nice. And now he's really weird. Like, I don't fully remember what he really does in the anime, but in this game, all Ashura really does is just throw a bunch of pills. Like, that's just what it keeps on saying. Like, his ultimate is Super Confused Star Blast Pill. And he used split attack to one target, and he deals 1,375% damage. And then he'll also pull the enemy, and then the CD is 35 seconds, which I do like it. 35 seconds is pretty short. He pulls the enemy and deals good damage. I just kind of want to see more of a stat like burn or dizzy or anything like that. Now his star set is pretty good. Like I said, he works with Indora. Every 15 normal attacks, he stuns enemies near him for 2 seconds. When fighting with Indora, what he says, it says Muandora or just Mundra, I don't know. I'm assuming that's just Indora, I don't know though. But the battle will release many major J-Fong pills, which is just his normal ability, and this battle will gain the effect of increasing damage to dizzy and burning units by 50%. He does more pill damage, which is a normal ability, releases 3.U Jifun pills at the front, and the damage is related to the skill level of the ability, which I'm assuming is the star sets. So like him, like just like Indora, he is really confusing. The wording on this, at least, is confusing to me. I don't know if it is for you guys, but it's been messing with my head. It's been really weird, but I think I made kind of good sense about it. When he fights with Indora and Ashura fight with each other, they just basically can do more damage and are better. So if you're planning on going them, you should go both of them. The only sad part is they are different like factions. It's yin and yang, sadly, so you can't get the all yin or all yang faction bonus if you do go it. And then we have Chen. Now Shen's kind of crazy. He quickly attacks forward, dealing 212% damage. Then his normal abilities, he charges for a duration and sidekicks the enemy, dealing 483% damage. After casting this skill, Leaf Rising Dragon can be recast in 5 seconds and is guaranteed to trigger a crit, so he automatically crits them no matter what. Casting Leaf Gust and Leaf Rising Dragon, which Leaf Gust is the normal ability, both will increase crit damage by 30% for 2 seconds, which is with a CD of 8 seconds. His normal ability is not that bad. He's got a good crit damage. He's got a guaranteed crit, which is also really cool, with a pretty good cooldown. 8 seconds isn't that bad. Overall, it's pretty good. Now his ultimate is Leaf Dragon Lord, where he shrouds himself with a whirlwind and performs a powerful kick to all enemies, dealing 804% damage and inflicting 300% increased crit damage and 50% lifesteal on them. Gains invulnerability during the release. Now this is my favorite part about him. He has a cooldown of 25 seconds. That is so fucking short. That is Itachi level short. I love that. He gains a vulnerability. He gains 50% lifesteal. I think he's gonna be a top contender easily. He's got good damage, good crit, good lifesteal, good cooldowns. Overall, I think he is really, really solid. And now this is why I think he is really good. His star stat is what makes him fucking phenomenal. It's what sells him. Each normal attack will add a bleeding effect of 30% damage. Increases all friendly units' damage to bleeding units every 30 seconds, and immune to bleeding, burning, and poison for 5 seconds. So not only is he immune to status effects, but he also, with every auto attack, he makes you bleed. Do you know how good that is with Bully and Sage Jiraiya and any of the new people they added, because they all do bleeding and burn damage? Like, this guy is so good with the new people. They're just trying to make burning and bleeding the new meta. Like, it was already a really good meta with Sage Jiraiya, but now it's just insane with how much they're adding it. Chen is easily going to be like one of my top pick, if not my top pick. Sadly, I do think one person does beat him, which is the guy I'm talking about next. Night Guy is fucking insane. I think he might be the best one they added here yet. His normal attack is he dashes at them. I don't know for sure because I haven't seen fighting gameplay. Obviously, none of us have. But I think he straight up just dashes to them. His normal ability is Evening Elephant, where he breaks his limit, dealing 585% damage to the nearby enemies. When unleashed, he restores 15% of his max HP, and then he grants at most 5 enhanced extra skills to attack, each of which will cost 3% of his max HP for the duration. So he does basically 5 unique attacks. I don't really know what that means. I'm hoping it looks really cool. I'm hoping it's just like, maybe it's just like 5 random punches and attacks. It could be that. I'm not sure. I have not seen the fighting gameplay, but it sounds cool. And then for the duration of the skill, my bad, the movement speed is increased by 100% during the duration of the skill. The cooldown is 15%, but that does seem pretty stacked, so I can't understand why it's really long. Now his ultimate is called Night Guy. He gathers all his power to launch a finishing attack, beating back the enemy by dealing 1,187% damage. When unleashed, he costs 5% of his max HP, just disappears, and then he causes a permanent 30% burn effect on the enemy and reduces their defense and crit resistance by 50% for 5 seconds with a 35-second cooldown, which 35 seconds is not that bad. Permanent bleed effect, you'll never get that off, which means permanent bully, once again, burn really, really good. They're really forcing the burn and bleed meta. Bully's going to be insane right now. Sage Jiraiya is going to be really, really good. anyone who just does a lot of damage to people who burn or bleed is just really, really good in this meta right now. Now his star stat is when in battle 2% max HP is lost per second, so he's just permanently dying, which does make sense since he is a night guy. Then attacking enemies affected by burn is increased by 50%, so he basically just fucks you down when you're burned. Then when his HP is below 10%, his increased damage by 15%, then deals 15% more damage to enemies with less HP than 20%. So he is really, really good at finishing you off when you're low and executing you. And he also just does a lot of damage when he is low. Plus he permanently starts losing HP, which Night Guy, it does happen, so I'm happy they did add that. It does make sense. Now there is a lot more that I do want to go over, but this video has gone really long, so I am going to end it here. Let me know if you guys want me to make another video. I do want to make a tier list, like I said, of all the new people, ranking them, but I really want to see how they are in gameplay first, just because like I said, Indora and Ashura kind of make that much sense. I want to see how they really work in gameplay before I do it, but I don't know. I might make one, like maybe a theory video again. I liked that mine last time, so I might do that again. But if you like this video, hit sub, hit like button. Doesn't really matter if you do that or not. I just appreciate it. Hope you guys have a good day, and goodbye.